Okay, so let's use the questions I gave you that will help you arrive at the author's social commentary. So the first question was, what is the problem? And think in terms of like a problem that is reflective of society as a whole. So in this case, what's the problem, right? Obviously, the disease is spreading. People's lives are at risk unless they do something to protect themselves from the virus. That is a problem. And in the next slide, you'll be writing about what you think the most important problem is. Here's the thing, I don't know that people have power over that problem, right? So, who has power here? Everyone's kind of on equal footing. It's not like there are any characters here that have more social standing than anybody else. We do, however, have power over how we behave in such a situation. And we do see some characters whose behaviors might be problematic if everybody behaved that way, right? So, for example, Laura doesn't take this very seriously. She doesn't watch the news before she goes to bed, and she feels that Javon is just overreacting as usual. That could be a problem, right? Going back to the problem is people in society just maybe being skeptical and just not being alert. Clearly, there's been information on the news about the pandemic. Javon knows exactly how many people have died. And so, could that be one of the problems that we're looking at? The role of the clerk is interesting as well. She is, she's staring off at a TV. Clearly, she also has access to information about what's going on, but he feels paranoid about whether she's judging him. We have no information to think that she is. She's interesting. I'm curious to know if she factors into your assessment of the social commentary. I think his own guilt about having to survive the steps he's taking. I mean, he filled 7 grocery carts, I think it was, with food for himself and for his brother. Yet, this is such a noble thing. I don't think we're supposed to criticize him for that. But his own feeling of losing his humanity, right? He says he feels possessed as he was getting all of these items into his cart. Could that be an important problem that the writer wanted us to think about? What's unfair here? I don't know that this question really works for us. I think this is sort of more of a survival story than anyone doing something to somebody else. We do want to think about the character's background. In this case, he has a brother who's paraplegic. This seems to be a major motivation for him. And so, do we forgive him for the steps he's taking to survive? Or did the writer see him as selfish? She let him off the hook for that, and maybe it's just his own humanity and his own empathy for the world that he lives in that makes him feel that way. You decide. You're going to be analyzing the social commentary in the next slide.